So because we are doing kind of a darker eye look today, I'm going to put some tape around my eyes and do my eye makeup first. So I'm using the tape to kind of be like a guideline and give me that sharp edge. First things first, let's set our eyes and put down a nice even base. And I'm actually going to go in with this Wet n Wild Au Naturel Nude Awakening palette, and I'm going to use this lightest shade and put this just all over my lids. And I'm going to put quite a heavy amount. I just want to do something a little bit out of my comfort zone, and for some reason fall has like really inspired me. There's so many amazing makeup tutorials out there right now that I've been watching, and I've just been really inspired to create some different looks that I wouldn't normally do. I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. Mad for Matte 2 palette, and I'm actually going to use this shade here. It is kind of like a mauvey light tan brown shade, but I'm just going to use this as a transition and then build on top of it. And because I have this tape here, I can be kind of messy about it. I think I'm actually going to go into this shade. So it's another kind of darker brown with a bit of a purple tone to it. I'm going to just go in with a light hand again with that same brush and just start building up that kind of gray color that I'm looking for. And again, I'm putting this all over my crease and my lid. So I'm hoping today the look will look as good on camera as I'm hoping to make it in person. Now you can see we have built up sort of a matte base. I think what I'm going to do is go into the shadow that is going to be majority building up most of this look. It is quite dark. It's actually this Colourpop shadow. I believe it is, oh, yes, Take the Lead. So this is a very cool toned brown, and it's a little bit gray, and when I swatch it, it actually looks pretty gray. So I'm just going to start super light-handed again with this brush, just putting that all over everything we just did. I might do another Learn With Me, trying to do a cut crease. It's something I keep wanting to do, and I know I've mentioned it a bunch of times, but it's just I keep putting it off because I don't want it to be a huge fail, and I think it might be. It's just going to be really hard having the hooded eyes. I'm going to have to almost create a fake crease, I think. I've tried to see other tutorials on how they do it, but there aren't very many, and I just find because everyone's eyes are so different, they're doing it for a hooded eye that's different than my hooded eye, so I don't know. But I do want to do it just in case there are people watching that are like me and have the same issue, and maybe my eye shape is similar to yours. Maybe you're struggling with the same thing. So I'm just packing it a little bit heavier right on the lid now. Okay, so it's starting to build up nicely. I think I'm going to take a second to use a clean. I'm just going to basically go around the edges here. So again, I'm just going right back into that same shade, Take the Lead, with that same big fluffy brush, and just kind of going over and over until I get, actually it's almost where I want it. So I think I'm actually happy with that for now. A lot of the times you may notice I end up like finishing my eye look, doing my mascara, my face makeup, putting on lashes, and then I'll add more to it after. And I think that's just kind of, for me, the best way to finish a look. But for now, that is all I'm going to do. So I'm going to take off the tape. I'm just going to go in with a tiny bit of my Wet n Wild Coverall Primer. Stuff is pretty thick, but I've never had a problem with it. And it does make my skin feel super smooth. So I was actually having a really hard time trying to figure out what foundation I want to use today. I think I'm going to go in with my like holy grail Maybelline Fit Me, just because I just want to look, you know, like my best tonight. So I'm going to mix my shades Classic Ivory and Natural Beige to hopefully get, I'll start with the Natural Beige and I'll see if I need to lighten it up. I'm actually going to use my Real Techniques brush for this and then go over it with my sponge just to make sure it's all flawless. I actually feel like that might be fine. So I'm just starting blending it a little bit with my finger. And I'm just going to go in with my brush here. I think that's all I'm going to apply. I didn't put too much on. I am now going to go just over it, quickly bouncing my sponge. You can definitely build this up to be more full coverage. I just honestly find, I don't know, I'm just not really a full coverage person, I guess. And I kind of like using a little bit less foundation, and then if you need to, I'll use like my concealers to kind of like brighten or build up the coverage in the center of the face, which is more where I typically need it. Alrighty. So I will have to put some bronzer down my neck because, as always, my neck is like so white. So for concealer, I'm actually going to go in with my Colourpop No Filter concealers. So these are actually like possibly becoming my new favorite concealers. I have mine in light neutral and fair neutral. I'm going to use light neutral today. The coverage on these is so good, and it just, I don't know, it's kind of starting to gravitate more to it than my Fit Me lately. So I am going to put this a little bit closer to my nose to kind of contour it a little. I will say though, a little bit of this goes a long way, so I do kind of always end up putting on too much still. And again, I'm going to blend that all out with my sponge. Okay, so that is all blended out. So it may look a little bit like, I don't know, creasy under my eyes. That's not really the concealer, it's just my face. I have a lot of under eye wrinkles, so I do want to set that really quickly though if I can find my powders. So I'm actually going to use a combination of the Tarte Skin Twinkle Lighting Palette in this filtered light shade and my usual Wet n Wild Photo Focus Update. I think I'm just going to use my finger, and I'm going to grab my big e.l.f. brush here and just put this Wet n Wild powder on the rest of my face. So it may look a little bit white under my eyes right now, or like super pale and washed out, but once we're doing bronzer and everything, it will come together. So for bronzer, actually, maybe we'll jump into that next. I feel bad, I'm not really looking at the camera. I'm like staring at this mess. Right here. I'm gonna go in with my butter bronzer and this big fluffy brush and just start bronzing this face. I actually haven't used this bronzer in a while because I've been trying to experiment with some other ones. I'm gonna kind of contour a little bit and again drag this down because my neck is very fair. And then I kind of like to take the brush and just kind of do like a swipe like that. Put it on my nose like that and wipe down. And it kind of helps to contour it without being too much, and it's easier to not go too far and kind of like make a mistake. I always go bronzer crazy, so I'm going to stop there. For blush, well, this is the e.l.f. Total Face palette, and I'm going to be mixing, actually I think I might just use this one today. Alright, so our blush is done. I'm going to do my brows because I feel like I'm starting to look a little weird, and then we can kind of finish up with the eyes and fool around a little more. Alright guys, so I'm done my brows, and I'm actually like pretty happy with the way they turned out. I've been using my e.l.f. Lock On Liner and Brow Cream, and now that I'm a little more used to using it, I actually really like it, and I think they turned out okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start the lower lash line now. So again, I'm going to work with the e.l.f. Mad for Matte 2 palette and use a little bit of this shade here, which is kind of like a small brush like this. And just buff this underneath. If you also have a lot of like under eye wrinkles like I do, putting on shadows and kind of bringing them down lower actually helps to kind of hide them a little bit. I'm just lining this up with this kind of like line that we already created. Okay, and now I'm going to go in back with that, what was it, Take the Lead shadow, and just light-handed and starting at the outer corner and just buffing forward. So I'm going to leave this for now. Again, once I put my liner and lashes on, I may want to add a little more, but for now I want to stop here. So I am going to go ahead and apply some liner. Ooh. So before I do any of this, I'm going to spray my face. I try to, before I put on any kind of like liner or mascara, spray my face with the setting spray then, just to prevent anything from like touching your face or like possibly running, because then once you have the setting spray on, once it's run, it's going to be so much harder to take off without ruining your face. So I'm just giving my Wet n Wild Photo Focus a good shake here. So I'm going to go ahead and do the liner. I think I'm going to do it off camera and then we'll come back. Hey guys, I just realized that my camera, oh my gosh, my softbox, oh, I thought it was going to fall. My camera was not recording for a good few minutes there, so I'm going to do a quick recap while this lash dries. Hopefully this mirror is not distracting. Okay, I did my liner and mascara off camera just because I was having a rough time with my eyeliner. And I actually used 3 kinds. So what I did is I did end up going in with my Body Shop Skinny Felt Tip Liner for my upper kind of mini wing. And then I used my Annabelle Jet Black Retractable Liner to tightline. And then I actually used my L'Oreal Liquid Intense Black Liner for the waterline. I just find it stays a lot longer on my really watery eyes than using the Annabelle like kohl pencil liner in there. I was just explaining as well the lashes that I'm wearing. So these are the Quo full lashes in the style Glamour. So I really like these. I'm just waiting for the glue to dry. So I'm just going to go ahead and put on this next lash. I'm going to do my hair and then I have to decide on a lip because I haven't decided that yet. So I'll be right back. Okay, my hair is done. I was going to get dressed and I forgot to put my clothes in the dryer. So that won't be happening. I think, so a few small things I want to do. I'm going to take again, oh, that's not the brush. This like little smudgy brush. I'm going to go back in to this shade here. So not the darkest one. And I'm just going to make a little bit more precise there. Not added highlight yet. So I'm going to actually go in. Sorry, I have so much stuff here. With my Skin Twinkle palette again, and I'm going to use this Moonlight shade and put this under my brow bone. Maybe a tiny bit in the inner corner. But again, I wanted this to be like a matte eye look. A little bit with my finger right in here. And then I'm going to take my fan brush and put some right here. So not too much, just enough to add a little bit of ta-da. For the lips, as usual, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I know what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take a little bit of this. This is the, what is it, 951? 951 Colourpop pencil. Putting a little bit of that on my lips and smudging it out. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just feel like I want something really light. That, I think, is what I want. So this is the Maybelline lipstick in Hot Sand from their Inti-matte Nudes collection, I believe. I hope you guys like it. It's nothing, I hope it's coming across on camera the way it looks to me right now because, like I said, a lot of the times it doesn't show up as bold and like bright or just like dramatic as it is in person, but I don't want to take this any further. Like this is exactly how I want it. So I hope you guys do like it. I hope you guys like a little bit of a different sort of cool tone look instead of my usual warmer looks. It was nothing too complicated, but sometimes I like doing stuff like that, especially now that I'm filming for you guys, because I feel like it's easy for you guys to try to duplicate if you want to. So thank you as always for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.